Her looks, I assume they come with a price. She's smiling, but that may just be a disguise. I wanna say hi, but I'm scared she'll kill me. Could we, will we, would she? Probably not, but I don't care, 'cause I know it's so rare for a guy like me to get a chance, see the girl like her. And I won't waste that chance, 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 waste that chance. She got me low.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we gonna light it up.
don't trick or treat, don't knock on my door. Don't want you no more. You broke me, and I don't wanna see you. I'm colorblind, yeah.
Sziasztok, üdvözlök mindenkit! Szia Nika, szia Tamás, szia Letti, sziasztok mindenkinek! Ez egy Wake nevű játék végigjátszás lesz most. Azt látjuk. Így, és akkor tudom, ez a bevezető kicsit hosszú volt. Szóval, ja. De akkor el is vesszük innen a képet, és belépünk a játékunkba. Itt is vagyunk, hát akkor legyen könnyű.
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays.
Szia kapitány úr! Szervusz!
With us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've always had a vivid imagination, but this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards. So yes, it began with a dream. Following a typical nightmare pattern, I was late, desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there. I'd seen the hitchhiker too late.
Szia Aurelius.
He was dead. I was convinced they'd put me in jail and I would never see Alice again. Suddenly, his body was gone.
Még a ször is felállt a hátamon.
I was in shock from the crash. I could hardly stay on my feet.
Hello, my name is Mikael Kasurinen and I'm the lead game designer of Alan Wake. This is a video game commentary that spans throughout the whole game. Commentators will appear like this on the screen every time there's something that we like to talk about. But be aware that this commentary is full of spoilers.
Nem az audio, hanem az irányítás.
If you haven't played the game yet and you want to experience this as it was meant to be played, stop now, go back to the option screen and turn off the commentary. You can always come back later. This commentary is location based, so every time you hear a commentary that you want to listen to, stop moving and don't try to advance to the next location. Feel free to look around but moving forward to the level might actually override the existing commentary. The only way to replay a comment is to restart the last checkpoint. Now, enjoy the commentary and have fun.
Hiya, my name is Tim Longquist. I'm one of the level designers of Alan Wake.
Hello, my name is Tero Tosa. I'm a senior environment artist at Remedy.
Hi, I'm Mikko Rautalahti and I'm a writer here at Remedy.
Me a foot.
Here we are in the very beginning of Alan Wake. Since dreams and dreamlike states are a big deal for us, it's kind of fitting that we start things off with a good old-fashioned nightmare. We also do a couple of other things here.
És a történet részről is te fogsz szenvedni. Én nem akarok szenvedni, hagyjál békén.
That's what the big floating ball of light is.
Lekésted a határidőt.
We also do a tutorial here, and that was actually kind of challenging because it's not very easy to marry the idea of a story introduction and a tutorial together, but you know, I think we did an okay job with that.
Nem áll. De hogy kerüljem ki egyébként? Ez lehetetlen. Na jó, van ám.
I realized that the hitchhiker was a character from the story I've been working on.
Nem tudom, hogy horror game-e vagy sem, én akciógame-nek olvastam, hogy az, de mindjárt kiderül. Egy top csatám van, amikor életcsevegés. Ja, értem, haven, csak csukott szemmel. Jó kezdődik egyébként, jó kezdődik. De jó vagyok. Sietek, hall, sprintelek, de ennél többen nem tudok mászni. Oh, now we're open. Mr. Requiem, I'm lazy. Proszę weapon.
Quickly, get inside! There's no time to lose! Oh no! Stop!
De alapból halott, miért lövi?
No! No! No!
Jó, hogy nem mutatja. Csapdába estem, nincs kiút.
There was no way out.
De, itt a kiút. Meghalsz. De nem akarok meghalni, még fiatal vagyok, erre nem mehetek. Isten, mi ez? Mibe vágtam én a fejszémet megint?
The cabin was a death trap. I had to get out.
Honnan jussak ki? De lehetetlen kijutni innen, tesóm! Azt hogy ütött meg és mikor? Kövesd a fényt. Követtem a fényt, tesóm.
You are hurt. You should go into the light.
Fejbe kell menni, csak ott nem biztonságos.
The light pole that you see in front of you is a crucial piece in the gameplay of Alan Wake. We call them safe haven. It's a spot of light in the midst of darkness. It provides you safety. While the enemies actually don't want to go into light, they also heal the player faster and acts as guidance for the player. Every time you see light in front of you, that's usually a good direction.
To its ports I beam. Do you understand?
No.
Follow my light.
Ez igen.
I entered your dream to teach you. The darkness is dangerous. It's sleeping now. When it feels you coming, it will wake up. There's no time.
In this scene, the diver takes control over Wake's dream to teach him how to fight the forces of
darkness.
The basic concept is simple. You turn the light on top of Taken and you can see the darkness burning away. After that, you are able to defeat Taken with your revolver. This is a good opportunity to see how the light mechanics work. Turn the light on top of him and you can actually see a small halo forming around him. The halo gets smaller, the less darkness there's left. And you can clearly see a light effect when the shield is burned away. The combat mechanics were always designed around the idea that you face multiple enemies at once. In this tutorial you only get one enemy at a time, but in the field that comes after this, you get 2 or 3 enemies at the same time. Then you get the proper feel of how the combat works. Be careful on who you are concentrating on, because someone else might actually be flanking you and trying to hit you in the back.
Good. You've done well. Remember what I've taught you. That is all. I will give you back your dream now.
In the nightmare, a terrible darkness was taking over the world. The lighthouse was the last safe place on Earth.
Várjál, már visszamegyünk, még Revolvert töltényért, hát ne szórakozzál meg. És ki fog fogyni az államunk a zseblámpából?
You made me this way, and now I'm gonna This isn't witch!
Felvett termosz kávé. Halott vagy akár, csak én. Nem! Te leszel halott! Ez valami egyszerű, de... Menjünk már a virágított torony fele amúgy. Elmecsere, mik nincsenek itt amúgy? Az örökké valóságba folytathatom. Fussál! Állj meg, fussál! Úgyhogy nem telt bennem semmi kárt már. Ott egy kávé, azt fölveszünk. Menj, jön a sötétség, menjél. Menj ide be. Egyelőre úgy néz ki, hogy biztonságban vagyunk egy darabig, de ki tudja, hogy meddig. Ször is felállt rajtam, gyereket.
You dozed off.
Right. Anything more than dozed off would be news for everyone.
Cheer up, handsome. We're here.
The events of the game take place in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States. This is a beautiful region that has in the past been featured in numerous TV shows and movies, like The Shining and Twin Peaks. It's famous and recognizable for many things, like fishing and mining and huge redwood tree trunks the size of a bus, beautiful lighthouses. But I think the most recognizable and beautiful feature is the nature. It's an oceanic climate combined with huge mountain ranges and dark forests. The cool thing about it is that there's an enormous amount of moisture constantly flowing in from the Pacific Ocean, and when it hits the mountains it turns into fog. So the end result of that is that almost everywhere you look, there's these dense wisps of fog lazily crawling on the mountains and hillsides, and it really lends the area an almost otherworldly feel.
Look, Mr. Maine, I'm on vacation. In fact, I'd appreciate it if we could keep my being here just between the two of us.
De közben szerintem csak olyan könyvei vannak, amiket úgy az álmaival kapcsolatban, tehát mint az előző is, hogy ilyen könyveket ír. Csináltál képet?
Very nice. I got a couple of really good ones. And I see you made a friend. That's cute.
Right. Yeah?
Hey, bestseller. How's my favorite writer? Are you there yet?
Barry.
Most csak megérkezni.
Are the locals giving you trouble? Just say the word and I'll hop on a plane and come make sure that you're left alone, Al.
No, Barry, we're fine.
Great, great. Just want to make sure you can relax and recharge. So, how is the place? Has it gotten your creative juices flowing?
Barry, we're just settling in.
Csak most értünk ide, hát ne szórakozzon már velünk, légy szíves.
And you call me if there's a problem, okay? Okay. Just looking out for you, buddy. Talk to you later.
I love you too, Barry.
Az a mi barátunk, ez a
You know he's going to be calling you every 5 minutes.
Barry is Barry. I can always turn off the phone.
What did I tell you?
Az honnan kapja elő a telefont?
Text message from Barry. He says hi to you too.
Alan, we're here. Come on, let's get back to the car. We need to stop at the local diner to get the cabin key from the landlord, a Mr. Carl Stuckey. He's waiting for us. I'll go fill her up while you get the key. I'll pick you up here in, say, 15 minutes?
Sure.
Alan, thank you for coming here with me.
I love you too. Go on. I'll promise to behave.
Ha nem kell szellemek elől menekülni, akkor jó.
I'd forgotten there were still places like this. Towns where everybody knew everybody.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner.
Hi, I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for...
Mr. Wake. Alan Wake. Oh, God! I am your biggest fan. I
know
people say that all the time, but I really am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Rose.
Rose. I'm looking for Mr. Stuckey. Carl Stuckey?
Carl? Of course, Mr. Wake. He must have gone to visit the restroom. He'll be back in a moment.
Diners are the very essence of traditional Americana and the hearts of small-town communities, such as Bright Falls. There being so many of them and many of them looking very much like each other,
nem csúnya játék
source material for this
egyébként.
location was always going to be plentiful. But even so, from the start, we had a certain one in mind. If you can remember a certain black tie wearing, pie munching FBI agent who likes a damn fine cup of coffee, you'll know the one I'm talking about.
Both of my legs have gone to sleep.
Don't go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
I think I can handle it, ma'am. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to find Stucky, to get the key and get out as soon as possible. The waitress was giving me a headache. Overeager fans always did.
Na, valami lesz.
Hello? Mr. Stucky?
Carl couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he was taken ill. But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Okay.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin. I'll come by later to check how you've settled in. And to meet your wife. I insist.
Thanks.
Ez creepy ez a nő. Meg is ijedtem tőle. Ide került a semmiből. Érted?
Cauldron Lake is a special place. Very inspiring.
You got lucky this time, young man. You can hurt
Na, az öreg hölgy is kezdi.
This really ought to...
Even that sounds better than your singing.
Are you alright?
Splendid, splendid! Damn hernia. It swells up like a balloon if I...
The Andersons, they're, local musicians. We're waiting for Dr. Hartman to come pick them up. They wandered off from his clinic at the Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Bye, Mr. Wake.
Mission accomplished. The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in case.
Hey, wait! Mrs. Wake! Your keys!
De már elvittünk egy kulcsot, akkor miért akartam még egyet? Várjál. Ő volt az, akit kerestünk, de az az idős néni, az meg egy tudja, hogy egy szellem volt. Szerintem. De majd úgyis megtudjuk.
Okay, we can talk about this later.
I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to bury my head in sand.
Here's another one of my favorites to go with it.
Once upon a time, I was a successful writer, but that was a long time ago. I hadn't been able to write a word in 2 years, not since my last book.
And now the weather. It's gonna be a clear night, so you folks in the big city might want to look up every once in a while.
Itt jártunk. Várjál már. Itt jártunk. Nemrég. La 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 la, remélem nem fog érte a YouTube megenni. Köszi, én is téged. Ugyanitt jártunk helyett, pontosan ugyanitt.
Wow, it's gorgeous, Alan.
It's something, all right. Don't worry, I'll get you inside.
Bird Lake cabin is an idyllic, a little rundown but nevertheless beautiful cabin nestled in a small island on the Cauldron Lake. But not all about it is as it seems. You see, in the 70s there was a big eruption.
Lehet, hogy innen jött, hogy a felesége nem szereti a sötétséget, és akkor lehet, hogy így nekünk is azért ez fajta fétisünké válta.
Yet somehow it does. The original idea for the Bird Lake cabin was that it was actually alive. That it would roam about in the forests at night, rising onto its legs, that would at daytime look like bird leg-shaped roots sticking out from under it. In the end, the story evolved into having the name of Bird Lake cabin simply derive from the peculiar shape of the island and also from the frontal facade of the building, where a chimney, which looks like a beak, and 2 round windows looked like its face, and 2 porches, one on either side, looked like its wings.
The cabin looked like a time capsule from the 60s, or even earlier.
1900.
For a moment, the oppressive feel of the nightmare I had seen on the ferry.
Hol a generátor? Vissza kell kapcsolni fel az
I needed to get the power running in the cabin. There had to be a fuse box or a generator somewhere on the island.
Szerintem az nem itt lesz fönt, hanem az itt lesz lent. Valahol.
The Deer Fest guests have already started to arrive. Just ran into one on the ferry. A famous artist who
The power cable goes to that shed over there.
Tényleg, de okos, hogy ellész, pont ezért tartalak, hogy bemondta, hogy mit hol van.
An old generator had been connected to the power cable.
Mindjárt szétesik, hallod?
Okay, I'll look around a bit.
Sure thing. Have fun.
De ne akartam volna vizsgálni a fát, amúgy. Oh.
It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here. Had once been the site for a love story. Maybe it would be that again.
We spend a lot of time talking about Alice in the game, but we don't actually see all that much of her because she disappears. That's why it was very important for us to establish her as a major force in Wake's life in the very beginning of the game. Their relationship is very interesting because Alice is actually a lot smarter and stronger than Wake is. She's capable of manipulating him and is quite willing to do so if need be. That's how they ended up at Cauldron Lake in the first place. But what she does out of love. She really just wants to help him. And he does need all that help because he kind of falls apart without her. She's a lot stronger than that. She could survive without him, but I'm not sure if Wake could ever live without Alice.
Szia, havány, jó éjszakát, köszi, hogy benéztél. Menj a dolgozószobába. Jó, elmegyünk a dolgozóba. Ez a dolgozószoba?
Surprise!
Alice?
Mi ez?
What is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice, everyone
keeps... Hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists.
So now you want to get me committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Just don't! I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice! God damn it!
I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through.
Érzi szerintem a csávó, hogy a feleségével nagy problémák lesznek, mert nekem az a gyász ruhába, hát a gyászolt szerintem, amit az öreg asszony, nem tudom mit gyászolt, de elég érdekesen nézett ki.
Alice?
Alice?
Megszámadta a mami!
The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out.
Alice, I'm coming! It's all right, I'm coming!
Megyek, segítek!
Alan Wake has a lot of problems. His marriage is failing, he's suffering from the results of extremely poor impulse control, and frankly, the guy is a bit of a dick. He's not a bad writer, he's definitely a decent one, and obviously he's been very successful, but you know, it's probably not a coincidence that the moment he sets out to write this really good novel, he's not actually...
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Nem tudom, Aurelius, fogalmam sincs.
Keep going. Wake up.
Alice?
Corsair miért? Dual. Nem tudom. Fogalmam sincs.
Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
Ez egy durva kör lesz. Aztán itt már...
Designing the environments, we are making full use of the diversity of nature in the Pacific Northwest region. In this episode, we find Alan Wake crashed in a car, unable to climb back to the road, and facing a long hike through the forest to reach a distant gas station where he hopes to find help. The area is a rocky, forested valley. He has to go through a logging site and also a marshland that follows the bottom of the valley and a river crossing. In the end, there is a vintage old gas station to explore, so really, it's a visually very interesting location.
Az autó! Ez elég hosszú túra lesz így.
Hello?
Halló? Fény. A fény az jó, nem? Azt mondta a játék, hogy a fény az jó.
Someone there?
Mi ez a papír? Mi állhat rajta? Alice-nak az utolsó...
The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
Deja vu lesz, ha így folytatod amúgy. A férfi felén fordult, az arcára árnyék vetődött. Nehéz volt kivenni az erdő sötétjében, ami körülvett minket, de a felemelkedő fejsze jól látható volt. Ragyogott az áldozat vérében. Áldozatai vérében. A férfi örülten vigyorgott, az árnyak életre keltek, eltorzítva az ábrázatát. Rémálomban illő jelenet volt, de ébren voltam.
Well, as you can see, Wake has just found his first pages. They just sort of floated down from an unearthly light. And the manuscript is one of our main storytelling tools in the whole thing, and one of our most important concepts in the entire game. And that stuff was actually really difficult to write because you know, you don't have a lot of space there. You have a couple of paragraphs, and you kind of need to be able to tell a little story there.
Yeah, and I also think that the manuscript plays a big part of the whole experience, but it also tells a lot about the world itself. It also gives you a really deep history of different characters in the game.
Yeah, and it feels kind of natural too, because you know, we sort of made the pages a part of the whole thing. They're not just sort of, you know, random things in the, you know, sort of, you know, on the sideline, but they're actually something that's really a part of the plot because they really are the plot.
Exactly, and I especially like the idea how certain pages actually predict some events that are going to...
I've been in an accident! Hey! Hey, you!
Phil!
There's been an accident! I need help!
Listen,
I need to...
cabins for rent in...
Oh, hell.
Carl Stuckey. Pleased to meet you. Non-refundable reservation deposit required. Fair and square. And square.
Waaah! Merre fussak? Erre futunk. Merre? Nem tudom.
Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
During your trying, it's the latest.
Yes.
In
Bright Falls Sheriff Station.
Prove it.
Hello?
Two. One.
This is bad.
Nem erre kellett menni.
Even though most of the enemies attack you with melee weapons, some of them are able to use ranged weapons as well. I think it's way cooler when somebody's throwing stuff at you instead of shooting. Or maybe I just got tired of that in our previous game.
I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something. There were no bodies. They just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick.
No.
The dark forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
Ow! Már megint ez a mama, hogy... Nem tudom mi a pofa volt ez, de ez most már lassan engem is érdekelne, mit akar tőlünk ez az öreg nagyi.
When I saw the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find
Wake's newfound fear of water is a result of his plunge into Cauldron Lake. Of course, at this point in the story, he doesn't know what happened to him, he doesn't remember any of it, but you know, on some subconscious level, he knows that he's been violated, and he associates that with the water.
Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
No. Itt lesz már a benzinkút.
The staircase was broken. I had to make my way up some other way.
Na és hogy? Ha? Ó, egy termoszos kávé. Csak 2 lövésem van. Nem sok mindenre elég.
With all this forestry equipment around, there had to be something I could use to reach the top.
Ez nem valami szerencsés művelet egyébként. Ó.
Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it. Taken. They're taken.
Fenti ösvény? Milyen fenti ösvény? Fákja kellett volna rossz. Valahol volt egy fák, amit elhagytam, de... Megszállt előttem állt. A képtelenség volt teljesen kivenni az alapját, vagy daganatra szenvedesség miatt. A vakfoltban áll. Egy folyós árnyék volt, mint tinta a vízben, mint egy cápa harapás ismét fel. Szörnyű volt, ahogy szorongattam a zseblámpát, mintha az életem félne tőlem, mintha megállítaná, közelebb jöjjön. Hirtelen történt valami, és a fény erősebbnek tűnt. Hát mondjuk, de nem tudom, de mondjuk akkor legyen így.
Departure by Alan Wake.
Írta Alan Wake. Érd el a fenti ösvényt. Hát de hogyan? Fenti ösvény. Miért nem lehet ide felugrani amúgy? Ez nem értem, de... Milyen előtt el az összes töltényünket? Hát... Akkor várjad, akkor lehet, hogy valamikor szerintem összeállni kell. Nekem nagyon nem tetszett, de... Tehát akkor legyen.
There was no power. There was bound to be a generator somewhere at the logging site.
Ez az a generátor, vagy nem? Azt hiszem meg kéne keresni. Ha itt is föl lehet mászni. És ha ide fölmászok, akkor mi történik vajon? Na bassza meg! Szia Anna! Aha! 200-as IQ-val rendelkező fiatalember. Vagy nem. De meglátjuk, hogy jó lesz-e vagy sem. Hát nem. De várj, azt sem tudom, hogy a melyik két hely között mászkálom. Szóval... Nem tudom. Nem mindjárt kiderül úgyis, hogyha visszafele elnézünk. Csak kezd meghalni a hátam. Ilyen gyorsan megfürödtél annak. Itt a nyilacska, mutatja, hogy erre kell menni. Igen, és akkor elvileg... De hova kéne elmennem? Ja, én már lefülöttem. Gyorsabban a live előtt letusoltam. Aztán mondom, tolok egy kis LNV-ket, mert ugye ingyenes volt az Epicen, aztán mondom, kipróbálom már, hogy milyen. Eddig nekem nagyon tetszik a játék, csak lehet, hogy valamikor máskor fogjuk folytatni. Nekem valami fákját kéne keresnem. De egy fatelepen honnan az anyjából... Várjál csak. Aha. Ez most komoly! Nem áll? Legyen már egyre béna. Nem tudok átugrani egy ilyen széles valamit. Sörétes puska. Nos, paraként voltam, hogy is levegőt szívek, és micsoda éjszaka van. Tudom, hogy a legtöbben mostanra már az ágyban vannak, de amelyek talán vagy szájra egy percet meg, és sütjél egy nagy levegőt. Az időjárás... Teljesen nyugodt az ég kristálytiszta, mintha az erde csendesen veled lélegezne. Hogy a hallgatók jól tudják, én éjszakai maga vagyok, és az éjszaka olyan, hogy azt kívánom, bár ne lennék a stúdióba zárva egy öreg. Kivenni a műsort, ha nem ér. Hát mondjuk, kell kivenni a műsort, mondjuk.
The gas station was closer now. Its light welcoming in the darkness.
Most of the gameplay locations we have in the game incorporate the idea of a journey into them. It basically means that we try to show where player is coming from and where he's going to as often as possible. In the beginning of episode 1, this meant that we showed the lighthouse whenever possible, and of course now we use the gas station in similar role.
Elolvassuk, hogy biztonságos körülmények között leszünk. Állam az sose rossz.
Here we can see some of the nasty enemies that we have. We call them flankers because they try to circle around you and stab you in the back. Though they are quite easy to take out.
Bár a salátál sose nyújtani, de nem benne minden kommentekkel, akkor kihelyezed el a lopot. Menjél már! Az anyódat! De megijedtem, hát!
The journey from the crash car onwards has seen a steady escalation of suspense, and now we're wrapping it up with a meeting with possessed Carl Stucky.
Ah, megint itt van!
As you might think, it can be dangerous. The engine takes hours to cool. Cool. Easy and fatal. Count before and after. This place too. Has destroyed.
Ilyet nincs.
The journey from the crash car onwards has seen a steady escalation of suspense, and now we're wrapping it up with a meeting with possessed Carl Stucky.
It can be dangerous. It requires patience. Oh no. The engine takes hours to cool. Cool. Easy and
Oh! Nem áll! Hangos volt, bocsánat. Hát jó van, skacok. Innen fogjuk folytatni a következő livestreamben. Ez csak egy ilyen próba jellegű játék volt. Kipróbáltuk, hogy milyen a játék, egyébként nem rossz, jó sztoria, minden lehet, hogy még folytatjuk, ez csak egy ilyen... Nézzük meg, hogy milyen játék igazából. Szóval, köszi szépen, hogy itt voltatok, aztán majd még holnap találkozunk, addig is. Vigyázzatok egymásra, meg mindenkire is. Sziasztok, jó éjszakát kívánok mindenkinek. Sziasztok.